Oh my God. I mean, there were so many comments on your comments about OJ.
Uh, nice headline you got there. That's what this whole storyline is all about. Legendary career in the NFL, unbelievable career in television, and then a tragic ending and a lost life and career. He had everything and he lost everything. You know, I thought about this over the weekend while I was on a jet plane coming home. The trial of the century, to me, was the fraud of the century. That was the most amazing outcome of that long extended situation. It was almost as if hero worship got the jury's vote. Because the more I read in background and refreshed my memory, there was DNA everywhere. His DNA at Nicole Brown's apartment, the blood and the hair and all that at OJ's place. And yet he was innocent. Hung jury. There was blood, there was clothing, there was fibers in both homes. We had the white Bronco. We had the suicide note. We had the dirty cop who influenced the outcome. We're talking about this Mark Furman story.
Oh, that guy.
You know, then he was acquitted. Then he was sued. And then he lost that lawsuit and he owed the Nicole Brown family an enormous amount of money. And then he was arrested again. And he was involved in armed robbery, sports memorabilia, 9 years in prison on this armed robbery charge. I think the most shocking aspect in just refreshing my memory of what it seems like it was 100 years ago, the history of domestic abuse, that man towards that woman, 63 phone calls came from Nicole Brown Simpson to the police in Brentwood and in LA about domestic abuse incidents in that house, 63 times. And he was never charged and he was running the streets. And then the end result, she died, Ron Goldman died. That's the most stunning thing. I'll say something that nobody's going to like. Not a lot of people will agree. Hacksaw's haters will line up immediately. OJ Simpson ran away from everybody in the NFL. I'm sorry, OJ Simpson cannot run away from the hell that he's going to live in now in wherever he is right now. What a awful, awful story. And I interviewed him a couple of times. At the end result, I think it's just unbelievably awful person. And there's a lot of people in sports that feel, I think, the same way I do. What he stood for, he never became as a person away from football, and look how it all ended up. Agree or disagree with me, John? You have the floor.
Well, I agree with much of what you said. I think there was a lot of blame to go around in that trial. I mean, the way the police managed the evidence was just, you know, total cluster. Did he commit the murder? Probably he did, or so many signals that he did. But you ever wonder if, and granted, this is not an excuse, just a question. Do you think there was CTE going on involved here that caused him to be so violent, you know, at home with his wife, that led to this? Some people have said it was roid rage. I mean, so it makes you wonder if some of these problems with the football played a role in what happened with OJ.
I think there's potential there, but he was a druggie. At the end of his career, he was a druggie. He was a problem person when he was at USC. He may have been John McKay's legendary star running back, but there was a lot of junk off the field that they hid that he could have been charged with. You know, he had been married prior, and that didn't work out. And then this situation. And I have no doubt that he was heavily involved in all types of substance abuse post-NFL career, despite being a star on TV and despite being a marketing guy, a whiz for all the advertisers that want to be linked to him. And then he became toxic, and then he became untouchable. And then his life just obviously went off the deep end. So, yeah, I think there's just a lot of things. I think history now writes great running back, not so great person.
Yeah, I mean, a fabulous running back, but a terrible person. But isn't it amazing how he was such a good guy in the media on Monday Night Football, you know, everything he did. I mean, he was in the Towering Inferno, my first PG movie that I saw. He was a superstar. He was in the limelight, Hollywood.
He had it all.
He had it all, but he had this dark side, so it's like a Jekyll and Hyde bipolar thing. And again, just really, really crazy. I mean, so I think for so many of us, we kind of put the whole OJ thing to bed. Now he passed away. It kind of resurfaced again. You called his passing a tragic event. A lot of people on social media said tragic. It wasn't tragic that OJ died.
He was a tragedy as a person.
Well, clearly.
The people that he impacted.
Yes.
Okay, Fans Forum